Hey. Hey everyone, welcome in. Oh, thank you, Rody Gal. Made it myself. How's everyone doing? Happy whatever day it is. Hey, Mrs. O, welcome in. I'm glad you caught it. I saw someone else said that too. Who was it up here? Someone else said, oh, Rody Gal said she just caught it the live for the first time. Hello, welcome in. Hey everyone. Hi, hi, hi. Hi everyone. Welcome in. Like I said, happy Thursday. It's Thursday, right? Yeah, happy Thursday. So I somewhat switched my plans up for what I was going to do today, not to the extreme. I was originally going to be doing Madalina, but I was also going to be doing the disgraced New York City Police Chief James Burke. But once I started going down that rabbit hole, it didn't stop. So it definitely is in need of one on its own and not necessarily a dual one. Also, with a lot of the updates in the Madalina case, I think it was enough to do its own live as well. But I also am going to do a recap for those of you that are not like as familiar with the Madalina Cojocari case. I still did do a presentation. I have some videos. There's some new stuff that has come out. And then obviously what had me start looking into things again was her stepfather was released from jail after they lowered his bond. And the craziest part too is that his bond was originally 200,000 and they lowered it to $25,000 and he was able to make bond and get out. Um so there's a lot to it. So come on in, get comfy. Um, I know my mom and grandpa are hopefully watching. So hi mom, hi grandpa. My mom was very disappointed that I wasn't camming up for tonight, but it was just one of those days. I spent the days with Abby and the boys and just Dexter being Dexter. And yeah, so all right, I'm gonna put a poll up. So I'm just kind of curious for let's see. Have you heard about Madalina's case? Yes or no? So I just threw the poll up. Right, Inspector Gadget? My mom said that she was gonna. Yeah, North Grandma. My best friend Abby. And Colton and Everett and Bobo. We did go out to lunch today, which I'm telling you guys, every time you bring a 3-year-old, a 1.5-year-old, and a 3-month-old out to eat somewhere, it's crazy. Somewhat. Really, T? Wait, who is Music City Mom? Dexter Pointer Lover says hi. He didn't even sit up. He's so rude. Hey, Thistle. All right. So let's see where we're at so far. Oh, okay, good. Then I'm glad that you get to sit through my deep dive of it because Madalina's is a case where I am very much on the side that she is still alive and that she was potentially sold. I do, as of right now, based on all the information that we have, believe that she is still out there. And I think that's why it's important to make sure that we get her face out there, her story, and then anyone in like the East Coast, but also there's potentially been sightings of her on the West Coast, and like I said, we'll go over it. Oh, really, Music Simon? That's cool. She's a beautiful little girl. True crime crazy. We've been doing a lot behind the scenes. Uh, me and T and the Decipher podcast with T and LFT. Ugh. Regarding the Rachel Morin case. So make sure you guys are subscribed to Criminality, Teresa, and the Decipher podcast with LFT and Tia Dash. But all right, so let us get started. All right, so Madalina Cojocari. I'm gonna put her picture up. All right, I'm gonna kind of start off with everything. So this is Madalina. Her case takes place in Cornelius, North Carolina, which I do have. Oh, thank you, Pointer Lover. I appreciate that. I do have a map here. So this is just Cornelius. It looks to be just north of Charlotte, North Carolina. And so this is where this story takes place. And so we'll go right back up. Okay, so starting off with everything, we have November 21st, 2022 at 4:59 p.m. Madalina is seen getting off of her school bus. So I have the video because luckily the school bus was filming. So we do have the ability to see this video. No, seriously. All right. There's no sound. But you guys will see her getting off the bus. And like I said, this is November 21st of 2022. So obviously she's not the one that's blurred out. She's right there. So that is Madalina on the last day that she is seen by anyone other than her parents. So, and when I say parents, I mean her mother, who came from Moldova, and her stepfather. So, let me get back to StreamYard. Yes, guys, please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Yeah, Mary Jane Doe, I know. All right. So, this is one of those cases that we don't find out that Madalina was missing until December 15th. And another crazy part about this. So if we go back, that video of her is the last time she's seen by anyone other than her mother and stepfather. And it is not brought to police attention until December 15th. So the crazy thing is, though, is that we obviously have some background now when it comes to the timeline coming up to that point. But according to Madalina's mom, Diana Cojocari, she last saw Madalina on November 22nd, 2022 at noon. Well, she then later changed that time to November 23rd, 2022 at 10 p.m., so right as she was going to bed. So is everyone following along so far? Hey, Melissa Strange, welcome in. So at this point, she gets off the bus on the 21st. Her mom claims that she last saw her November 23rd around 10 p.m. when she went to bed. Now, that night, Diana did state that Diana and her stepdad, Chris, were arguing. So there was potential arguments going on to the point where they were not really paying attention for the most part. Hey, Jenna. And so they just know that she went to bed that night. And that is the story. Yes, November 23rd. So that was the official, that is the last time with everything else. Is that when Thanksgiving was tea last year? Was the 24th? Is it? I'm not quite sure. Now, technically, they are from Moldova, so I'm not exactly sure the surroundings on if they celebrated or something like that. I don't know if her stepdad did, um, but it's definitely an interesting time frame. Oh, really? Carol freaking Claus. That's awesome. Okay. Hey, Merp. All right. So they were officially fighting that night when they claimed that they last saw her going to bed on the 23rd. Now, we also find out that on the 23rd, supposedly, according to Diana, yes, K-Berries, we'll get into that, don't worry. So, according to Diana, it is actually the 23rd when her. Hey, Shay, welcome in. Thank you for coming. Hey, Lori. Um, Diana claims that her husband, so Madalina's stepfather, actually leaves town on the 23rd to drive from North Carolina to Michigan to pick up items. So it's not stated what those items are. I know it was said that he potentially does have family up in Michigan, but in regards to the exacts of what he was going to pick up and why he was picking it up on this specific day are not known at this point in time. Um, but then it was actually, he says it was the 23rd, but it was actually Diana is the one that said that he left the morning of the 24th. So, hey, Kate, welcome in. So there's a lot of conflicting time frames when it comes to when he left for Michigan to go pick up this stuff, whatever this stuff is. So let us see. All right. We then get to November 26th. So once again, I'm going to always go back to the last time frame that she's officially seen by someone other than her parents, which was November 21st. Now we're at November 26th. Her stepfather Chris returns and asks Diana, "Where is Madalina?" Diana says she doesn't know. And then they kind of both start going at each other. Hey, Jay Callis, welcome in. So they're going back and forth, like, where are you hiding her? And then that's what she said to him. And then he's like, no, where are you hiding her? And they're both like, I don't know where she is. I don't know where she is. And her stepfather, Chris, actually does claim that over the next few weeks, he continually asks Diana, where is Madalina? And she just continues to say she doesn't know, which at this point is crazy to me because nothing happens. So the next part is part that came out after the fact. Hey Richie, welcome in. It's good to see you. Hi Brian. This part was something that made me angry. So sometime between November 22nd, which is the day after the bus video, and December 15th, which is when she's reported missing, which we will get into the report of her being reported missing. Her mom, Diana, was actually seen driving her Toyota Prius to Madison County, North Carolina. So this is the picture that the Cornelius Police Department had put out regarding this is what Diana, this is actually her mom, these are her mom, that Diana would look like, as well as her car. And they were asking if people had potentially seen her in the mountains in Madison County, North Carolina during this time frame. So between November 22nd and December 15th. And so this was one of those things where a lot of people, I remember when it first came out, there was people saying that she was potentially seen throwing stuff off the mountains into, you know, the big crevices and stuff like that. And then there were other people that were like, no, that wasn't her. And it was back and forth. We've never actually got the official other than the police coming out saying she was in this area during this time frame. If you saw her, if you think you saw her, if you saw her vehicle or anything like that, please contact the police department. So in Cornelius, North Carolina. Hey Hey, Jordan. Welcome in. So, one other thing though is, like I said, this was the map that I showed you guys at the beginning of where Cornelius is. And if you guys see the other little yellow dot here on the left-hand side, that is Madison County. So that is where her mom was seen driving during that time frame. And so that's kind of, you can see how far away it is. It's a great distance. And she was potentially by herself. We don't know, but it's within the time frame of when Madalina is missing. No, Jordan, they have not. And I'm just kind of doing a quick overview. And when I say quick, I mean nothing's quick for me because I pay attention to detail too much and it drives me crazy. But we will be going over some of the updates with everything because her stepfather was released from jail, so on bond. All right, so you guys can see here, Cornelius is where they lived, and Madison County is where her mom is seen driving sometime between November 22nd and December 15th. So now we're going to get into the storyline of how Madalina was actually come up as missing. So how she was reported missing, who reported her missing, and how all that kind of came into play. So here's another beautiful picture of Madalina. And so we are going to have this time frame now start on December 12th, 2022. So December 12th, 2022, the school resource officer at Bailey Middle School, Officer Nobles, which is Madalina's school, actually does a house call. So the school resource officer goes to Madalina's house because she had been truant since she was last seen on the bus. So the day of November 21st was her getting off the bus going home, and after that time frame, she had not been at school, she had not been called in to school, and nothing along those lines. So there was nothing. So at that point, obviously the school's like, where is she? And they stop. The school resource officer goes and visits the home and knocks at the door. There's no answer. They end up leaving a truancy packet on the door and obviously then leave the house. This is December 12th. So, like I said, there is a lot of information in regards to like the beforehand, but all right. December 14th now, 2 days later, after the school resource officer drops the truancy packet at the house, the counselor calls Diana, so Madalina's mom, and hey Tiffany, good to see you. Hey LFT. So December 14th, 2022, the 6th grade counselor calls Diana Cojocari, so Madalina's mom, to set up a meeting. Diana says absolutely her and Madalina would be there the next morning for this truancy meeting regarding where Madalina had been during this time frame. So then we get to December 15th, 2022. Diana Cojocari arrives at Madalina's school without Madalina, and the counselor actually calls in the resource officer, and it is at this point in time that Diana Cojocari tells the counselor and the resource officer at Madalina's school that she had not seen Madalina since November 22nd or 23rd. She changes her story, like I said, but this is how she ends up, the whole situation ends up coming to a head, is she shows up at this meeting without Madalina, and that's literally it. It's actually the school resource officer that ends up calling the police to report her missing. Not her mom, not her stepdad. Hey, struggle is real. Welcome in. And it's the school due to, hey, Lynn, due to her not being there. And then Madalina's mom coming in and being like, hey, not only was she not at school, but I haven't seen her either in this time frame. And that's where everything kind of hits off. So at this point, it is December 15th. Madalina is not seen by anyone except for potentially her mother up in from November 21st is when she's last seen on the bus, like we watched at the beginning of the live. And that's pretty much the gist of everything up to the point where she's reported missing. So on December 15th, the day that she's reported missing by the resource officer, not by her parents or her mom and her stepfather, they do an initial search at their home. The first search, the police notice that in the kitchen, there is an area that is blocked off with plywood, and they claim her stepfather, Chris, actually claims that they are building a separate apartment there, and it's just kind of in the middle of everything else. So at this point, they're just doing a lot of searches. Obviously, it's a missing child. They didn't report her missing. And there's just a lot of different things to this where they're questioning them. They're searching the house. And then it's actually December 16th. So only the next day that the FBI is brought in. So I'm not exactly sure what they found. But within 24 hours of them reporting her missing, the FBI is brought into the case. And so that was always a huge thing. They did say that her backpack and some of her clothes were missing. So that was always something that I held on to because it's something that always made me hope that she is still alive and just somewhere that has the possibility of being found. So that's the thing. There were a ton of search warrants that were released just within the last few months. And they have like the return of the search warrant. So on the return of the search warrants, it'll tell you the things that they potentially took from the scene, from the house, and so on. And all of that is redacted. It is blocked out on all of the things. I have all of the search warrants printed off because I'm crazy like that. And I've highlighted through them. And I'm going to be honest, there's not a ton of information. The one big piece of information is that in one of them they call it a kidnapping, and then in another one they call it just a missing child. Hi, Allie. Welcome in. And everybody, make sure that you guys say happy birthday to Miss Alex Erickson. I'm saying your name like that because that's how it is in chat so that people can tag you. But Allie, it is Allie's birthday today. Happy birthday, Allie. Thank you for being my friend and everything that you do. And I'm not going to lie, she sent me a video of some dolphins like next to her today, and I was so jealous. So, Jordan, is it your birthday too? So, I just wanted to throw that in there. Hey, Chrissy. All right. Right, T? I know. Okay, so we are then going to get to the break in the case to a certain extent. So, oh, okay. Sorry, Lindia. Hey, Tactical Dragonfly, welcome in. Hey, Cray Cray. Okay. So this was a big part. Now, on December 17th, which, like I said, is only 2 days later from everything, both Madalina's mom, Madalina Cojocari, and her stepfather, Chris, which I can't pronounce his last name. It's like Palmiter, something along those lines. And I don't want to say it more than once, so that's why I will always just refer to him as her stepfather, Chris. And so they are arrested. So they are actually arrested for failure to report um Madalina missing. So they were arrested and charged with failing to report a minor missing, which obviously when it happened, we're like, hell yeah, thank God they were arrested. Like, but I think at the same time, it was like, that's it. They haven't found anything to be able to do anything more than that. And, but it was still a win. This is still a win in this case. And I will say that till this day, Diana Cojocari is still in jail. She has had a few hearings recently, but her stepfather was just recently released, which we will get into. I do have the videos of it, of him after his release and so on. But we have a few more parts in our time frame before we get into what's the updates, what's going on now, and everything else. So December 19th, 2022, 2 days after they're arrested, Chris, her stepfather, is he has court and he is given a $200,000 bond. So obviously most cases what it's 10%, so he'd have to shell out 20 grand. Is that the right math for all my math people out there? But right, Allie? Now you said that and I'm saying it in my head. I'm like, smash, smash, smash. um and then also on this day, December 19th, they actually do search Lake Cornelius in Cornelius. Wait, who else's birthday is it? Or is it just Allie's and everyone else is messing with me? Okay. Um, Nothing is obviously found in that search. But it was noted. So, hey hippie chick, welcome in. We then have the next day, December 20th, where Diana Cojocari, Madalina's mom, makes her first court appearance. She is given a $250,000 bond. So that would be $25,000 that she'd have to obviously put up. We then have December 21st, 2022. Police return to Madalina's home. Obviously, both Diana and Chris are in jail, so they're just there doing their searches without the homeowners being there. Obviously, they have a warrant and search warrant and stuff, but hey, Punksy, welcome in. And they end up leaving with at least a bin of evidence. So I've heard that it wasn't a ton of stuff, but it was enough to fill one bin, which I suppose is a good thing, because if they would have potentially done something to her, I think there could have been a more significant, obviously, crime scene there. So the fact that there wasn't, I think, is a good thing, in the long run of everything. And so, yeah. All right. So then we have December 22nd, 2022. Madalina's family issues a statement. Let me grab. Oh, man. Hang on. I have them. I just, of course, was not prepared, which is not like me. So don't hold it against me. I have them. I just have to cut them out quick so that I don't show anything else that's on my Facebook page. All right. All right. Here we go. Gotta bring these up. It's just a lot of clicking. Hang on. All right. So here is the first part of the letter. This was released by the family as a statement. And I believe it was the Cornelius PD that had put out the statement to begin with, from the family. So it was put out by them on the Facebook page, which is where I got it for the Cornelius Police Department. And it says, this is December 22nd, 2022. We as a family are devastated and absolutely heartbroken to learn that Madalina is missing. Okay, Nora's grandma, no problem. We love Madalina and are shocked by these circumstances. This is something no child or family should ever have to endure. Our family is doing everything we know to do to support the efforts to find Madalina and bring her home. We are and continue to have hope and positivity in this difficult time and pray that she is found safe very soon. Hey, Tomboy Charm, it's good to see you. We know and greatly appreciate that the local, state, national, and online communities have come together to share flyers and offer positive support, hold prayer vigils, support law enforcement, and are doing everything possible to find and bring Madalina safely home. We are also appreciative of all the efforts, endless hours, and boots on the ground of the local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies included with the same goal. Let me grab the next one. Because of course, why would it be doubled? Is this the same one? Nope. Okay. It says Madalina is a beautiful, smart, kind, and loving 11-year-old girl with greatness in her future. We are desperate to find her right now. She needs all of our help. We ask for your continued positive support in sharing far and wide the posters and pictures of Madalina. Each and every share may be one step closer to finding her. If you believe you have seen Madalina or have any information related to her whereabouts, please contact your local law enforcement agency or the Cornelius, North Carolina Police Department and come forward with this information. Anything may help. Our family would like to express sincere gratitude to each and every one of you for your support. Our family will continue to do everything we know and learn to do for Madalina's safe return. Blessings. So that was the statement from the family. What do you guys think? What are your thoughts on the families? Now, when I say family, I believe this is from Diana's Cojocari's family back in Moldova, if I believe correctly. And so I believe it was translated into this and then put out by the police department. I believe there's only one individual from her immediate actual blood family that lives in the United States. And so, yeah. But what are your guys' thoughts? Do you appreciate that? Do you think this is something that is a good thing to do? I'll be honest, I quite liked the statement. I think it was to the point. It was showing how much Madalina is cared about, how much they appreciate everyone's help. And also I appreciate the fact that they're saying anyone and everyone that can share Madalina's story, her photo is appreciated, because especially if she's still potentially out there, I think there is a significant chance that she could be found safe, and that's important. And that's why sharing her story again now, as well as anytime I see it on Twitter, I'll retweet it. If I'll try and share it if I see it anywhere else. It's one of the cases that I've followed since it happened. I've covered it previously, and it's one of those cases that I think I really connect with, and I really have a lot of hope that could potentially, obviously, if she was sold or given away, it's not something that is ideal, but it's better than her being dead, if that makes sense, you know? So, all right. So let's see. We have um December 23rd, 2022. We had a few new videos and such that were released of Madalina from family. So let me grab that one. I'm just going to show you guys on here. Can you guys see that? Me too, True Crime Crazy. Just making sure you guys can see that. And I'm going to hit play. I'm going to mute it though because I don't need any copyright or anything like that. So you guys will see it's Madalina here, and I'm going to play it. These were newly released videos of her, so you guys will see her jumping into the pool. You guys will see her feeding some birds. There's actually Thistle, my lovely friend Thistle, who sent this to me, so thank you, Thistle. My little sleuth. You're such a little sleuth. But I think it's important to humanize her and show you guys, like, this is literally who is missing right now. And when it comes to that, I think it's important. So, hey, MK, welcome in. Okay, let's see. All right, back to where I was on here. All right, so we have December 28th, 2022. Both Diana Cojocari as well as Madalina's stepfather surrender their passports, which I think is important. I mean, at this point, they are still in jail, so it doesn't make a huge difference. But I do think it's an important step in this. So then, let me see. I gotta figure out what these ones are. Okay. So we're not quite there yet. So January 10th, 2023. So January of this year. There were search warrants that went out for the family's home and tech. They were released, but with a lot of redactions. Correct. Yeah, me too, Shay. So they were, like I said, they were released with a lot of redactions. I've read every one that was released. And there's not much you can get from it. So it just says that they went through everything. There were little aspects that come out a little bit later. So March 8th of this year, the warrants revealed that there was extensive communication on December 2nd, 2022, with a relative, multiple calls to phone numbers belonging to unidentified targets involved in an ongoing drug/narcotic T investigation. T as in like traffic jam type of situation. Can't say that word. You'll be so far gone on YouTube, but so this is revealed in the warrants that one of the phone numbers, whether it be Diana Cojocari or Chris Palmer, if that's how you say his name, so Madalina's mom and stepfather, someone had extensive communications on December 2nd, 2022 with a relative, which also then starts to make sense because there are potential sightings of Madalina with, I want to say it's Diana's brother, so Madalina's uncle, farther into December. They've not been proven. I've heard places that it was said. I've heard places that it wasn't her. But either way, it was someone that looked like Madalina, seen with the only known blood relative of Diana's in, I want to say it was just in North Carolina, but like northern the northern part of it. So it's very interesting to know that on December 2nd, which remember guys is still almost it's just less than 2 full weeks before she's even reported missing. Um absolutely, Brittany, thank you for coming in and listening. Um so and then also that some of the numbers involved in this are also numbers that had potentially belonged to people that were being targeted in this drug narcotic investigation. So I think that there is a lot of potential when it comes to what could have happened at this point. Um, there was a statement that said on Thursday, February 10th, 2023 at 13:50. So what is that? 1:50 p.m.? Is that right? Oh, I'm terrible at time. The canine alerted on the driver's side door of the vehicle, Diana Cojocari, so her mom's vehicle. The warrant said the canine is trained to alert any and all narcotics. The dog was alerted on the vehicle on Monday, February 13th, 2023, when a search warrant for the vehicle was obtained. So that was just an interesting aspect of one of the parts that are found. Now, I will say that based on the search warrants that I found, there was a lot of different information regarding what was said in the search warrants and what different news stations are saying. So I do have a handful of videos and um let me see. One, is this the one that I wanted to do? Yes. So I'm going to share this. And then we'll watch some of the videos. So make sure that you guys can see it. All right. So this was actually July 18th of 2023. So just over a month ago. It says update on Madalina Cojocari. Police used jail informant and recorded phone calls. So as I read like throughout this article, it'll state a lot of information is coming from these warrants. Now, I was only able to find 6 different warrants that when going through them, a majority of the information is redacted. And so there's not like a ton of this information in there. So unless there's separate ones that they have paid for or gone to the courthouse in Cornelius, North Carolina to get, that's why I'm utilizing the article versus just bringing up a search warrant. But once again, you guys, all of my references and everything are down in the description of the video. So if you guys want to look at any of this yourself, if you can't find something that I showed on the video, feel free to email me, and I can send it over to you. That's the one thing is I want my investigating of everything to be very transparent. I want you guys to be able to do your own research and look into this as much as you can and you want as well. But also see where a lot of my information is coming from, because sources are key and important in cases like these. So this is from the video we watched at the very beginning. This is the video on November 21st, 2022 of Madalina getting off the bus. And I'm going to read through this article. While listening in on her calls from jail, police heard Madalina Cojocari's mother raise the possibility that the girl's stepfather gave her away for money, newly unsealed court records show. The girl, 11 years old at the time, has been missing since November. The documents go back to March, but only this week were made public. The records indicate authorities have been listening to phone calls by Madalina Cojocari's parents while they are jailed in Charlotte, and also sent an informant to share a cell with Christopher Palmater. Once again, don't know if that's how you actually pronounce his name. That's how I'm going to pronounce his name. The girl's stepfather. Both were charged in December after failing to report Madalina missing for 3 weeks. In one recorded call between Diana and her mother, so Diana and Madalina's grandmother, the women discussed a bag with money, withdrawing cash, and a theory that Chris gave the girl away for money, according to a search warrant filed by the police to obtain bank records. In another recorded call between Madalina's stepfather, his brother, and his sister-in-law, he mentioned Cojocari had a lot of cash with her, and he did not know where it came from, according to the warrant. Madalina was last seen on November 21st when surveillance footage recorded her getting off the school bus at a stop near her home in Cornelius. Her mother and stepfather waited to report her missing until December 15th after her school became concerned by her absence. Once again, it was the school resource officer who ended up calling the police, not Madalina's mother or stepfather. Local authorities and the FBI have confirmed the search for Madalina expanded beyond the Charlotte area as tips rolled in for the highly publicized missing child case. Search warrants in Mecklenburg County confirm police obtained surveillance video footage from a place near Sugar Mountain and believe Madalina was with a man there on December 16th, WBTV reported Tuesday, citing court documents. The man, WBTV and WSOC reported, could be one of Cojocari's relatives. So this was one of the potential sightings of her. I believe that there was 2 near this town. And one was, I think, as recently as like July. I want to say it says it in here, the specific town. If not, I will find it. It starts with an L. If anyone off the top of their head can remember it, near Sugar Mountain. It's like, it's gonna bug me. I'm gonna have to look it up. Hang on. It's gonna bug me. I'm looking. I'm still looking. It's gonna bug me. It's one of those things. Right? Madalina Cojocari. All right, let us see. No, it's more of a me thing, I think. This'll. Of course, that's not the other one. So there's also, either way, it's in North Carolina near Sugar Mountain. Once I figure that out, I'll let you guys know. But it's gonna bother me until then, but still. So it says the previously sealed search warrants include details from the confidential jail informant who saw Madalina's stepfather writing in his journal. He was recalling Madalina's disappearance and writing down what he remembered. Her stepfather said, according to the informant. Her stepfather was last seen writing in it March 8th, according to the search warrant authorities later used to seize his notebook and other writings. So that's good. They were able to get the notebook. It says, in court and police records previously obtained by the Observer, officials provided details about the puzzling explanations Madalina's parents gave about when she went missing and why they didn't report it. The arrest records show that on the night of November 23rd, when her mother claims Madalina disappeared, her parents were fighting. Her mother told investigators she believed her husband, Madalina's stepfather, put their family in danger. She'd asked him if he knew where Madalina was and if he'd hidden her. He asked her the same. She also told police she did not report her daughter missing sooner because she feared conflict with him. So your daughter goes missing and you don't want to have a fight with your husband, her stepfather, and that's why you don't report your daughter missing. Please tell me you have your priorities in check. Don't ever put a man, a stepfather, before your child. Sorry to say. It goes into Madalina was last seen wearing jeans, pink, purple, and white Adidas shoes, a white t shirt, and a jacket. She is 4 feet 10 inches tall, has dark brown hair, weighs about 90 pounds. Police said at the time of her reported disappearance. So that is one of the most up to date articles. Let me see. Okay, maybe it's this one. Share this tab. All right, I'm gonna make sure I shared the right tab. Right, cray cray. A conflict is when there's two TV shows on that you want to watch and you have to figure out which one you're gonna watch later. Not my child's missing and I don't want to start a fight. Trash. All right. So it says investigators uncovered surveillance photos that they believe might show Madalina, an 11-year-old North Carolina girl who has been missing since November 22nd. So here's another picture of Madalina. This is not the surveillance photo. This is a previous photo of Madalina, but they're just showing it for reference. We don't actually get to see the other, like the photo. So, once again, there's her mother and her stepfather. All right. So it says Madalina was captured on video. We knew that. Okay. So mystery around her case deepened on Tuesday when court documents revealed that police found surveillance photos showing a girl physically consistent with Madalina. Oh, Linville. You guys, I found the L. Linville. You're welcome. I knew I had it somewhere. Okay. The pictures were dated December 16th, 2022. The day after Diana Cojocari reported her 11-year-old daughter missing. Typo. Misinformation. She did not report her daughter missing. The school resource officer did, and it is something that I will continue to correct because I don't think she should get the satisfaction or the praise for reporting her daughter missing because she did not. Yeah, cray cray, I think they can. So it says the child was seen with a man who resembled Madalina's only known blood relative in the U.S., cops said. Madalina and Cojocari are originally from Moldova. 2 possible sightings were highlighted in the warrant, one in Sugar Mountain, North Carolina, and a second at a Lowe's food market in Linville. There was also a possible sighting that emerged. Right, Lindy? Yes, I know. The possible sighting emerged after a woman claimed that she saw a girl that looked just like Madalina on July 5th. So that is of this year, you guys. July 5th. That's less than 2 months ago. It also goes on to talk about, let's see. The woman said she stopped at a gas station in Weaverville, California, where she saw a girl asking for a ride up north. Now, this was actually one that I heard about. I had not heard about the one in Linville or the one at Sugar Mountain. I had heard about this one in California because it came out on mainstream media and on Twitter. And it was a little girl at a gas station. She was holding a kitten, I believe was the story, and had asked if she could get a ride north towards the Canadian border. It said she appeared to be alone, but honestly, I could not tell clearly due to so many people being there, the post said, per WCNC. Cornelius police told WCNC that they were aware of the tip and detectives are following up. So, at this point in time, there have been 3 potential sightings of her. 2 of them in North Carolina, Linville, and um, near Sugar Mountain, and then one in California. So I, and that's this was in July. So I still have high hopes that she is out there. Yeah, that was part of the story. I was confused too. Um, I when I first read it, it was more being framed cray cray as being like it was a stray kitten with a girl who was by herself. Like that type of situation where they were kind of, I don't know, going back and forth of everything. Um, so then we have more intriguing details to the timeline. It says Diana, so Madalina's mom, said in a text message on December 2nd that she was with her daughter, despite earlier claims of her last being seen in November. The next day, the mother was seen on December 3rd getting an oil change at a service station in Hickory. The attendant at the station told police that children's toys were in Cojocari's car, but there was no child present at the time. On December 4th, Cojocari traveled to the mountains claiming she was looking for her daughter. The possible sighting of Madalina came days later on December 16th when Madalina and possibly a family member had been seen in Linville. I'm sure there are, Music City Mom. So we also find out that they seized hard drives. So the Cornelius Police Department has also obtained an old hard drive belonging to her stepfather after a tip from a computer repair business. It said that the stepfather had contacted the business to replace the hard drive, which was kept at the business per their policy. And then it goes into also the conversations that we'd already talked about between his brother and his sister-in-law and him. It said that her stepfather had also shared concerns about financial stuff that was coming up. His brother told him not to worry. Facebook messages between her stepfather and his family members were uncovered. He wrote, "We are in some kind of investigation. Maddie is missing, and the local police have taken all of our electronics. Luckily, I have an old phone. Although they did not take my personal computer, probably because they overlooked it, Diana is using it now to call her parents." Police seized the couple's banking and credit card information to look for any patterns or activity that may link to Madalina's disappearance. Cornelius police are urging the public to continue sharing Madalina's photo and story to raise awareness to bring her home. So once again, I'm going to scroll past parents, and this is Madalina. And so that is everything up until last week. So August 18th, 2023, just last week, what is that? 5 days ago? No, 6 days ago. Chris Palmer is released from jail. So let me see. I'm gonna close some of this stuff out. Too many things open. He is released from jail after they changed his bond from 200,000 to 25,000. Now, I don't know how that can happen. That was one thing where when I actually saw, I knew that they had dropped the bond amount. I knew that. I did not know the significance of the drop. Does anyone happen to know what could make it drop so far from 200,000 bond to $25,000? It goes from literally having to give like $20,000 to only having to give $2,000 to get out. Does anyone know what type of situation would warrant that happening? Because I had never heard of it being that significant. I'd obviously heard of different ones from like 200,000 to 100,000 or from 100,000 to 75,000, something like along those lines, but not to that extent. That's pretty much like, here you go, we want you out, in my opinion. What do you mean, Merp? Really, Brian Kane? A guy is in jail in Florida with a bond of $1 million for scamming people with swimming pools. Huh. Interesting. Thistle said maybe he threw the mom under the bus. Okay. Cray cray, so they can follow him, but lose him. Yeah, right. Brian Laundrie. See, and that's so crazy though. It's like it should be one of those things where you stay there until she's found or like but I mean, I guess it's interesting too because there's the potential that he didn't know what happened. Um I'm actually going to do a poll and I'm going to say who was involved in Madalina's disappearance. Did I spell disappearance right? I think so. I'm putting mom, stepfather, adding an option for both. I'm putting up the new poll, so please go vote on the poll and let me know what you guys think up to this point. Because I will say I lean more towards it potentially being the mom that did this. And that because they had not been married that long, the mom and the stepdad, and they both came over from Moldova. So it's not like thanks, Lynn. We'll be over there soon. We're almost done over here, and then we'll go over to Allie's. But yes, so I don't know. I would be more along the lines of the mom was the mastermind behind everything. Really? Okay, so most of you guys are saying both, and actually more of you are saying stepfather than mom. Okay, interesting. Hi, Tia. Thanks for coming in. Hope everything went well today. All right. So I have the 2 more videos, and then we'll wrap things up. So we have the video here done by the news station of him leaving jail. So I'm gonna mute. Let me see. Well, it's only 2 minutes. So let us see. Let's watch this.
Let's jump in here at 6. We start with the latest in the Madalina Cojocari case. Thanks for joining us here at 6. I'm Colin Mayfield.
And I'm Vanessa Rufus. Tonight, Madalina Cojocari's stepfather, Christopher Palmeter, is now out of the detention center after posting bond earlier today. This video showing him leaving that building. This all comes after that judge yesterday lowered his bond from $200,000 to just $25,000. And you will remember, authorities say Madalina Cojocari was last seen last November getting off a school bus in Cornelius. They say her parents, Diana Cojocari and Christopher Palmeter, did not tell police she was missing until 3 weeks later.
Alexi Wilson has.
So that's actually all I wanted to show. It's just going to kind of go back over her case. But that was him getting released from jail. Obviously, he is hounded outside of the jail by the news stations, obviously. But I do think it's very interesting. I was looking forward to see. I don't think he really looks any different. And I don't know. It's just, what do you mean? Cray cray. And then I have one last video to share with you guys. And it is actually of Madalina's grandmother speaking. So
Russian translator provided.
Gotta love when they have a mind of their own. No, Merp. That's the thing, is the judge just did it. No, he's from here, Cray Cray. He's from Michigan. There was a lot of talk, I want to say, in the very beginning on the potential of Diana Cojocari being somewhat of a, I don't even know what's offensive and what's not, but like a mail order bride. They had not been married long. She literally moved here as when they got married. I'm sorry if that's offensive. I don't know if that's offensive or not in those terms, but I don't know if that's ever been proven anywhere. Yeah. Yeah, Merp. But oh, interesting. Okay. So I'm gonna play this one out, and then I'll end things out, answer any questions you guys may have, and then we'll head on over to Allie's. So let me see.
A transcript to Queen City News.
Мои дети попали у трафикантов для детей. Моя внучка живая, ее продали вместе с Дианой за $5 миллионов.
Rodica says she wants to take her daughter and granddaughter back to her homeland of Moldova in Eastern Europe because she feels they're in danger in the United States.
Воровать твоего ребенка, не дай бог, или ваших детей. Надо их побыстрее остановить, эту банду. Это настоящая банда. Понимаете? Настоящая банда. Их надо остановить. Всего 15 человек. Я знаю только 5 из них. А остальные 10 я не знаю. И я считаю, что Мадалина находится у этого человека, усатого, вот такого полного человека, 63-летнего возраста. Мадалина у него там находится. Я так думаю.
We asked Cornelius police to respond to Rodica's allegations that Madalina was kidnapped and sold. They tell us, quote, "We are considering all aspects of this investigation, and we will continue to investigate any and all leads that will help us find Madalina."
So they did have what she was saying on the screen. For those of you that couldn't read it or it was just confusing, I can go just kind of back over it a little bit. Let me see. So she starts off by saying, my children were caught up by child T. Once again, traffic jam type of situation. My granddaughter is alive. She was sold along with Diana for $5 million. Hang on, I'm just scrolling through. She says, a message to Madalina that I love her very much, very much. Madalina and Diana. I love them very much. My Diana is a teacher and a translator of Russian, Romanian, English languages. Hang on, I gotta make sure I'm not muted. Okay. She's an educated child, both Cojocari Diana and Cojocari Madalina. So obviously, I want to say they were close, Thistle. So says they are God-fearing people and they are innocent, that they were caught in a trap by criminals and tears. So that is literally the statement from her grandmother. And I'm going to end the poll here. So, okay, I'm actually quite surprised. 61% of you say both had something to do with it. 22% said mom. And 17% said stepfather. Okay. Well, I will say I'm not surprised with the both. I mean, I guess I'm not really surprised at all, to be honest. But I don't know. I think if it were to come to which one, I think it's going to end up coming back to the mom potentially sold her to either get her out of the situation or something along those lines. And he became aware of it after the fact and is just not saying anything. Like, that's kind of where my mind goes. And I'm going to do one final poll as I close it out and just check and see if any of you guys have any questions. Is I'm going to put this, my poll is, do you guys think Madalina is still out there? So do you guys think that Madalina is still alive and just needs to be found? I'm just kind of curious based on everything that I have said so far. Also, I'll take any questions that you guys have at this point. And yeah, which I know I give a lot of details and things. So like I said, if you guys do have any questions, want any of my sources, anything like that, please feel free to reach out, email me. Could one of my mods please put my email in chat? Or if you just want to email me to say hi, if you want me to look into a case or something like that. And yeah. Tia, I am not monetized. So, as of yet. But hopefully soon. I don't know. I like members only lives. They're ones that I can kind of kick back and have fun. Although I do quite enjoy doing these, but it's a lot of my brain working. And thank you for coming to this establishment. I appreciate you being here more than you know. So thank you. Oh, did you, Crime Sleuthin? I don't even know where my phone is. Oh, found it. Where? I didn't get it. Crime Sleuthin. Well, thank you, Tia. Eventually, hopefully. Okay. So only 11 people have voted, so please go vote in the poll. I'm very curious because right now it says 55% of you think she's still out there, 45% of you think she's not. So that's actually surprising to me. I thought it was going to be a landslide on yes, her still being out there, but that might also be just me being biased. And such. Thank you, Thistle. So, that might be like my own bias of the situation. That's fine. You don't have to link it, Thistle. You can just put it in there. People can copy and paste it. I did make a little outro video that I'll play here before I end, but I wanted to thank you guys again for being here, for listening to Madalina's case. Please share this video. Madalina, in my opinion, allegedly is still out there. And she deserves to be found. And it's one of those cases, like I said, that I will keep you guys updated. It is a case that is very important to me, that I follow everything about the case, and I can't wait till the day that I can come on here and give you guys good news about Madalina. So thank you guys for being here. I'm going to play just a short little outro. As soon as I pop back up, I'll end the live. Please make sure that you guys like the video. It helps us get into the algorithm to get Madalina's face out there, and her story out there. Also, subscribe if, oh, thank you, Tia. I appreciate that. Please subscribe if you are not. I cover all true crime, even things that I don't necessarily cover on my channel. I'm definitely into. I have a lot of friends that also do true crime. Go follow the Decipher podcast with Tia and LFT. I'm actually going to head over, if one of my mods would drop Allie's link in chat. We're going to head over to Alex Erickson's channel, or as I call her, Allie. And it is her birthday, so we're going to go watch her birthday stream, celebrate Allie today. And yeah, thank you guys again for watching. And I will see you guys hopefully next week. I know I took a break. but hopefully I'm back on to my schedule. So have a great weekend, guys. Make sure you're kind to everyone. And yeah, see you guys next week. Bye.